can one say a particular test strategy is really good? Is it code coverage? Is it defect by lines of code? In other words, define a success measure for a good test strategy. And you've got to do that in 3 minutes, Hype.
Okay. Well, I think a good test strategy doesn't talk about code coverage at all, although it can be part of it, because I think code coverage can be important, but even if you have 100% code coverage, it doesn't say anything about the quality of your code. It only tells you how much test you've written, and then you still have to determine how good those tests are. And that's what we call coverage. So I think the coverage is more important. So how do you see if you have a good test strategy? I think a good test strategy is context dependent. It's practical. It's agreed upon by the whole team, so they agreed what you're doing. It's product specific, because every user story has its own what and how. And I think also it has a good balance in costs versus value, because some things you want to do might really look important, but they cost so much that we don't have time to do other stuff. So you need to balance all those things out. But I think what the question asker is looking for is also how do you know that you had a good, if your testing was any good, and how do you measure that? And I think that's a whole different story. But looking at the amount of bugs you find, but also how well your product is doing, just build metrics and ask your product owner what's important for you and how can we measure that, and how can we see that the stuff we're doing to prevent errors and irritation with users, but also a rework and misunderstanding. Why not ask the team? Do a retrospective on your test strategy. Hey guys, how are we doing? Are we doing good? And go deep on that. Like, hey, we had this and this happen. How did it happen? How can we prevent it next time? What can we do better? What do we need to learn? Are there people that can help us do our work better? And yes, it really resembles a normal retrospective, but then focus on the quality of your product, the process, the people, and do it step by step. Don't try to do that in one retrospective, because then you get overflooded and it stays general. Again, a good test strategy is specific, and the less specific you become in your conversations, in your retrospectives, but also in your test strategy, the less value it has. And because I see I have to quit soon. The last thing that I want to emphasize is be specific in what you do in your test strategy. As soon as it becomes something that this could work for both the products or 2 sprints or 2 user stories, it's too vague, and add more detail to it.